How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. Not homebrew, though. You would think would be homebrew with a zero label. Actually, a new brewery that's opening here in Jersey. Bull and Bear Brewing. I have not had anything from these guys. They're opening this year, 2020, hopefully. You know how red tape and brewery closings and worldwide epidemics sometimes can cause issues and stuff like that. But the owner actually reached out to me not too long ago. He's like, hey, man. He's like, do you ever just take beers from breweries and kind of yammer about them? I said, yeah, man. So he had his head brewer kind of drop some off on his way through my area. And that was about, I don't know, a week ago or so. So I'm finally going to dive into this sucker, see what's what. I had 3 beers from them. I have a Vienna lager. That's what we're going to do today. I have an oatmeal stout. Then I have a Scotch ale. So we're going very traditional from these guys. I actually heard about this brewery. I don't know where it was. It just kind of popped up on the internet, probably through like a local Facebook group or something like that. And the first thing that snapped to my mind, because I had this logoing that looked really close to Firestone Walker's labels, like the this kind of labeling where it had the kind of filigree and stuff like that. And a lot of the Firestone Walker labelings that are like this have that kind of bull and bear on it. So I was like, do I have another one? There I do, but I don't have the one I'm talking about. But it looked very close to that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of C&D land that they're kind of flirting with their cease and desist land. But ever since then, the little bits and pieces I saw of them is kind of, not that they've abandoned that logo, but it's been a bit more kind of graphical. So we'll see what comes of that. I just figured it was worth mentioning. So we're talking about a Vienna lager here. They have this at like just under 5%, I believe, ABV. So we'll see what's what. So not a lot of breweries come out of the chute with lager. So it'll be nice to see what's what. Like I said, labeling wise, really can't do much there. It is just a plain old bottle. And as far as a Vienna lager goes, probably a little bit darker than what I would expect a Vienna lager to come in at. Not that it's, I've seen Vienna lagers come close to this dark, but typically they're a bit lighter. This comes off a little bit more Maibach, maybe a little bit more kind of Marzen kind of level than a Vienna lager. Just a soft khaki colored head, tight compact bubbles, and just a little bit of soft, very soft, subtle haziness and a rich brown kind of color. So does she look like a lager? Sure, just a little bit darker than what you'd expect from a Vienna lager. Let's see if you get a nose. I mean, it does come off like a Vienna lager in the nose, just a little bit more toasty, a little bit more malty. Not that Vienna lagers can't be toasty and malty. It's just that's a little bit more elevated. It is getting a little bit more towards Bacchi range than just a base kind of Vienna lager. But I get a little bit of soapy vibes off of it. But beyond that, it has that kind of bready richness that you associate with like a Bock or something like that, but it does have those soft lager vibes and that little bit of soapiness in there, a little bit of bittering, and a little bit of butterscotch kind of floating around in there. So you have a little bit of brain farting. Butterscotch. I'm not even going to dive in on it. I'm just going to say butterscotch because my brain is fried. I'm in the middle of home, what do they call it? Social distancing, home quarantining right now. So my brain is just mush when it comes to things. So anyway, let's just dive in. Cheers. I mean, it does have a nice, rich, toasted maltiness to it. It does drink clean. That little touch of soapiness translates a little bit in the taste, but not by much. But that butterscotch does kind of elevate from there. So it is, you do have a little bit of that kind of like dimethyl kind of thing going on in here. That is not the best thing in the world, especially when it comes to any beer. But lagers, when you're talking about lagers, even roasty or toasty ones like this, it's a lot harder to hide those little itty bitty kind of flaws kind of floating around in there. So it definitely has that going on in there, but not enough to kind of make me kind of hate the beer, but it's readily apparent. So people that are kind of turned off by that might not be your favorite beer. Mouth feels nice. It just really does come off more like a Bock to me, with a little bit of those butterscotch vibes. And that's pretty much it. Not necessarily a bad beer by any stretch of the imagination. But there does seem to be a little bit of kind of rough edges on it that need to be ironed out. Now, like I said, I believe they are not brewing on their base system as of yet. I believe it's they're waiting for some construction to be done, so everything can be kind of finalized and put together and stuff like that. So I don't know where they're brewing, whether this is coming off homebrew or they're brewing on somebody else's system in the time being. It is, I don't know. I didn't ask. Not that they didn't tell me, but it's fine. It doesn't really blow me away. It's not necessarily a overtly negative beer, but it's not necessarily something that I'm going to kind of go gaga over or want to go back. And I love me some lager. You know what I mean? It's some of my favorite style of beers. If you nail lager, pilsner, Kolsch, smaller beers, you have my heart. And while this beer definitely isn't negative, it's a little bit outside of what I would consider a Vienna lager while having a little bit of butterscotch vibes going on. So there's a little bit of kind of, like I said, rough edges. So in the grand scheme of things, you know, if they sort of get tightened up and kind of dialed in a couple different directions, I can see it being a really tasty bevy. But where it sits right now doesn't really do much for me. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better Vienna lagers that I've had as of late. No. It just, with it being that far out of style, not that I'm a BJCP nerd, but being that far out of style with the combination of the kind of apparent butterscotchiness just kind of keeps it out. Valued availability, no idea. I don't even know if they're actually doing drafts or anything like that at bars or anything like that. But like I said, they will be opening soon and leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like box, but it's if you like box, because this is really comes off more like a bock to me than a Vienna lager. So if you like box, if you like German style beers, you're not all that kind of sensitive to like butterscotch as an off flavor in beer and doesn't really bother you all that much, then this would be something worth checking out. Or let me put it this way, when they open, be worth checking out just to see what kind of stuff they're throwing out there and see if the recipes and the tightening of the recipes have kind of developed. Because new breweries is a good thing, but good new breweries is a very great thing. So hopefully their opening goes well and they kind of dial in at least this one. This is the first one we're cracking in. And we'll see what the other ones have to hold, but there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. You want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully they're enjoying a nice little, Bach right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.